Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, it looks like Norwegian is jumping on the bandwagon and another cruise ship line is having issues when they go into dry dock, just not getting out of dry dock, and that counts by canceling a whole bunch more cruises. Our first story is the MSC Seaview, which is currently over having some dry dock work done. Was supposed to be done in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks and a couple days. Well, unfortunately, it's not getting done fast enough. It will still be in dry dock, so much so that they had to cancel 7 sailings on MSC up until the beginning of May. They're still planning that, well, it should start again in May 3rd is when the cruise ship should start up again, but I guess that depends if they can get that work done. Remember, it was only supposed to be a couple weeks and now it's double the length of time at least. Apparently a lot of the work being done is on the engines. Something going wrong with the engines and some maintenance they need, and might be just parts by the time they get there. But the ship's only 5 years old. It's not like it's a 20-year-old cruise ship. And to have significant engine issues is a little bit concerning, but they're saying it should be back online in time for the May 3rd sailing. Well, let's hope so for all those passengers, so you're not scrambling to find a way to get your money back, get the hotel back, get your airfare back, etc., etc. MSC has been reaching out all this week to passengers to tell them if your cruise has been canceled or not and what they can do about it. Again, going into dry dock and booking a cruise right after dry dock, very, very risky. Well, another cruise line is kind of jumping on the bandwagon as some cruise lines came out and said, we're going to Starlink. We're going to have faster internet at sea. And I've been on some ships that had Starlink, and it's been amazing. Currently, I'm on the Discovery Princess, and they do not have Starlink, and the internet is not bad. It's atrocious. That's right. It's one of the worst internet experiences I've ever had on a cruise ship, and this is their newest cruise ship. This internet is shameful. It's absolutely shameful on this cruise. It is that slow. Just as an example, I had a video ready to upload yesterday, the night before, and lo and behold, the story had an update. So the video I had to cancel and start a new update, and it was only a 2-minute video. Well, I started that video at 7 o'clock at night, and it did not finish until noon the next day uploading. You figure those hours out. 7 o'clock till noon the next day. That's 12 and 7 is 19 hours. 19 hours to upload a 2-minute video. Forget about opening emails, forget about streaming Netflix, forget about streaming Disney Plus, almost forget about watching anything on YouTube. The internet has been horrible. So with Norwegian now, they're out there and they are experimenting with Starlink, and they say they want to make sure it's up and running and that it's a quality system before they introduce it to their passengers. Well, I've been on ships without Starlink, and trust me, anything is an improvement. Ships may claim they have really good Wi-Fi, and that could be true, except one thing: Wi-Fi does not mean internet. Wi-Fi means you can connect to another cabin, you can connect to your friends on the phone, like on the Medallion. That can work perfectly. But when you try and do anything online on the actual internet, like your email and Google and things like that, that's when you run into problems. So Starlink, so far from my experience, is much better than the current system, and go for it, Norwegian. It can only make your cruises better. The faster they implement it, the better. And hey, Princess, how does your flagship right now of your cruise line have some of the worst internet I've ever had on a Princess cruise ship? That's not good. More news for cruising. We have Singapore and Shanghai have now started opening for home porting. That's right, they're actually opening cruise lines back up to that area of the world, and people are going to be able to start cruising once again. That's good news. The more that we can open up, the more things get back to regular ways of doing things, and I think that's a good system, and I can't wait to get back to Asia myself. I would love to take a cruise into Singapore. That's one of the places that I want to cruise into. I've sailed from Shanghai, I've sailed from Japan, never been into Singapore on a cruise ship, so looking forward to that. Another thing that's going on right now is, believe it or not, there are still COVID protocols out there on some cruise lines. Now, while here in North America, you do not see COVID protocols like you have to be testing. You don't have to be vaccinated and COVID tested for Princess, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, unless it's a specific country or something like a transatlantic, trans-Pacific, or a Panama Canal cruise. Usually, they don't even ask you anymore about COVID. Well, one cruise line just came out and said they're keeping their COVID protocols in place for both their river cruise ships and their ocean cruise ships, and we're talking about Viking Cruise Line. They say they have no intention anytime soon of lifting the vaccine requirements. They say their guests actually prefer having that vaccine requirement in there. I guess, did they do a survey? I'm not sure. But they say overwhelmingly that their guests are very happy that they require a COVID vaccine for everybody. Okay. I kind of thought we were over this with most vaccine requirements and things like that. But apparently, there are some lines out there, like Viking, who said that they will be keeping it and have no intention of lifting it anytime soon. So if you're planning a Viking river cruise or you're planning a Viking ocean cruise, remember that if you're not vaccinated, you probably won't be able to go, and you don't want to get to the cruise port and find out you can't get on the cruise and you can't get your money back because you forgot to look and see if you need to be vaccinated or not. Because in all honesty, right now, I hardly even check if a vaccine's required. I've gotten to that comfort zone once again, like I'm sure most people have. I've been vaccinated, I've had my boosters, I have no intention on getting a new booster unless something dramatic happens in the world. But I'm not checking to see if vaccines are a thing anymore when I go on a cruise. And I bet you 99.9% of you out there are doing the exact same thing. Well, I hope you appreciate this little update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.